Today I'm out here working with Liz. It's a great day on Byther Farm. I'm so happy to be here. What is it we're working on out here today, Liz?
So we're doing 2 more rows in our food forest, putting down a weed suppressing membrane that's made out of cornstarch, so it's environmentally kinder than putting down plastic, and it will take about 3 years to start rotting down. And then Lorella is going to plant some trees so that I've got a permanent memory of her visit here.
We'll call it Lorella's tree, whatever it is. Lorella's pear, Lorella's apple. It'll be a new variety just because I planted it. That's how it works, right?
Yes.
She sent me in here to the shelter of the tree, but she didn't stop working, did she? Is she gonna come up here? No. She said, we are going over the tree. Go get your camera. And then she continued to work in the rain. We tried to beat the rain. We didn't quite make it. The light shining through the trees is sparkling off the rain. You didn't tell me you live in a fairy kingdom.
I do, and it is absolutely magical here. And as you can see, we've got the magical fairy lights behind me. It's there all the time, even when we can't see it.
Liz is over there fencing herself into a corner. Is that like painting yourself into a corner?
It is, yes.
I don't know how you're gonna get back out now. Your legs are longer. You might be able to step over more gracefully than I could.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I have noticed that along here the rabbit-proof fencing is not secure as it might be. In fact, it looks positively bunny friendly. So I'm just putting in a few extra of these big metal staples into the ground to secure the netting down into the ground. It goes down and then comes out towards me, so if a rabbit comes up to it and it tries to dig, it can't get through. We've had I've never experienced rabbit problems in a garden before, so we've had really quite an eye-opening experience here. There are so many rabbits and they've just been eating everything right down to the ground.
There's about probably a half an inch of water collection. I mean, more than that if it's far, but that's from the whole surface. So I'm trying to live in a solid way.
Oh, I think you'll lose so good and my version of good might differ slightly.
Well, that was a bit of rain, wasn't it? Whew, that was coming down. It was, and the wheelbarrow had probably a good 1.5 inches in it. Of course, that's for the whole surface area of the wheelbarrow, but for a short 15-minute shower, that was quite a downpour. It's not too cold. I was in my puffy jacket earlier and figured out I didn't need it. A light jacket is enough. This morning, I helped her with ducks. Erica came by for a visit, and now I'm working in the garden. I couldn't have asked for anything better. If I came here the whole trip and this is all we did, I would have been absolutely thrilled. I sound winded. It's a rather a steep slope. It doesn't quite look it on camera, but it is a pretty steep slope. So it's up and down hills. And now it looks like Liz has just chosen a tree for me to plant. She's got 1, 2 trees coming back this way. So I'm gonna go help her carry things instead of sit up here in my laziness.
So I want one of the fruit tree. I want that one back sort of on the centre, bottom of that row.
I don't think we have the clips all the way down this one either, the staples.
No, I need to go back to the house and get some.
Did you say center of the bottom?
It's centre between top and bottom.
Oh. Oh, look at there. Just slid right in there now that you showed me the right way, or a way. It was getting it started a bit. I wasn't getting.
Okay, now just lever it towards you and see if the whole thing will come out.
Okay. There we go. Wow! You need to come over here. Just hand me that camera. Hand me the camera. Take a look at that soil, guys. Take a look at that. That's a good 8 inches, maybe, of just rich soil. Wow, that's fantastic. That's lovely soil, isn't it? Bit of a change from where you were, I'd say.
Yes. Oh, yes. Right, well, it came out on the other side, but that'll do.
Okay.
There's your stone. That was the stone that was making all the noise.
Yes.
Can we get that one out?
All right, little pebble. Should I give it a squeeze a little bit? Just to make sure nothing's stuck to the edges? All right. All right, I don't want to tamp you on your head. So there we go. Oh, yes. All right, do you want me to loosen up those roots any or just leave it?
I think it'll be fine.
Okay. And now, are we going to put this in upside down around it?
So we're going to crumble that around it.
Yes, we're going to crumble.
We're going to crumble this.
Leave the grass off?
Yeah, and leave the grass off as much as possible. So the thinking, current thinking here is that you don't enrich the soil in the hole that you're planting a tree in.
Oh.
You only use the same soil that came out of it.
Okay.
Because otherwise the roots won't go in search of nutrients. They'll say, oh, I've got this little bubble here that's all nicely enriched. We'll keep our roots in this small space.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than putting their roots further out to find as many nutrients as they can.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So at any time in the future, will you add nutrient content to your trees?
So yes, I will mulch them annually around their tree line.
Branches are here, you mulch the ground.
Around it, yeah, there. So that it's feeding the new roots as opposed to the old roots. So it's feeding those like fine fibrous roots. And so we will stake this tree as well because it's quite a windy site, isn't it?
It is. My lower back just said I was bent over too long. Stretch. I actually find that the more I work in the garden doing these things that are a little bit uncomfortable, that my muscles accommodate. They grow, they strengthen.
Yeah.
So rather than ease off in the discomfort, I don't push through to the point of injury because, you know, I don't want to be injured and then not be able to work at all. But I do push through some of the pain because sometimes pain is an indication of stretching and working and not always of injury. So I don't mind a little bit of discomfort because then the next tree and the next one and the 10th one from now, my back won't probably complain quite as much. Hopefully. I planted those trees.